One of these companies is making $100,000 per day. Which one? These are the numbers for 5 real companies. And just from these numbers here, you can tell which one is outperforming all the others. In this video, I will show you how to judge the health of your business just by looking at your processes and at a couple of numbers you can find in your analytics. My name is Andrea, and I've spent 15 years helping companies grow online. So let's talk about the metrics of a healthy business. Now, in the last couple of years, customer acquisition cost and lifetime value have been made really popular by Alex Hormozi. He's always talking about LTV. And I'm not saying it's wrong. I'm just saying that this is not a good metric to evaluate how the business is progressing. And why is that? Because if you have a business where a customer is bringing you $1,000 per year and they stay with you for 10 years, so your churn is 1% per year, that's a super successful business. Now, let's say that your customer acquisition cost is $3,000. Is this business healthy? Well, it all depends if you can wait 3 years to sustain the cost of acquiring a customer. You see, it takes 3 years to make this money back. So in this case, even if LTV is 3.3, but this is not necessarily a good business. And the problem with the LTV is that it is misleading because you can go bankrupt while you're waiting for LTV to materialize, okay? Plus, LTV doesn't tell you anything on what's working in the business and what's not, right? So to run the business day to day and to answer the question we started with, we need to learn to extract valuable information from metrics that move faster than LTV, all right? So this is what this video is about. Let's look at the metrics that show you the pulse of the business. So one, of course, it's sales, because without sales, a business is not a business, it's a hobby. Then you need traffic. Why? Because traffic is precursor of sales. If you don't have traffic, well, you can't sell to people because people don't know you exist, right? Now, some businesses have leads and some don't. You should have leads if your sales cycle is long. If you can convert people in a few hours or in a day, maybe you don't need leads. But if your sales cycle is like a week or a month or many months, then you must collect leads because you need to go back to these visitors in order to bring them back to the site and then to make them convert. All right, so that's where leads fit into the scheme here. Now we have 3 metrics here, and you can see that part belong to marketing and part belong to sales. Now I ask you a question. If you have to draw a line here that separates marketing from sales, where would the line be? So think about it, and think about it hard, because this will change the way you operate your business. And I can tell you, because when I make this exercise with my clients, they're all like, wow. And everything becomes easier. So the way I see it, the job of marketing ends when we acquire the lead. And usually when I say this, it upsets some people, because the reasoning is that marketing should generate qualified leads that can be sold by sales, right? And if the leads are not qualified, then marketing didn't do its job. And I'm not against that. But I would say, if you have this objection, I would say that you are running too fast, because this operation has layers. And if you want to start with marketing generating qualified leads, you are not getting out of the first layer, okay? On top of that, I would point your attention to the fact that marketing has other things to do. Because what we are seeing here is not the full picture. The full picture involves impressions. And impressions come from campaigns, assets that are generated and distributed on different channels, they go on the feed of people and they generate impressions. See how much work there is before we even get to impressions. Today, it is very, very hard to make impressions because there is a lot of noise on the internet and everybody's shouting something. So to get that impression is a hard job, and marketing has to focus on that 100%. All right? It cannot think about sales problems at round one. We're now at the first round. Okay, we'll get at the complex picture in a moment. But so think about that. Marketing starts with campaigns, generates impression, traffic, leads, and then at some point we generate some sales. Now, when we have sales, we can actually talk to these people and understand what these people have in common. And by doing this exercise, we discover what is working for our company. So what does actually work? And we do this exercise, positioning exercise, where we refine what we need to say about our company for attracting the right people. All right. Now, this is another mistake that companies make, to want marketing to do the positioning work. And this is wrong. Why? Because positioning requires different skills, different mindset, and it's not a marketing job. It's a department. So positioning should define what we say and who do we say it for. Okay? And marketing should take that message and define how we say it and where. All right? So this is how it should work. And if you structure it like this, everybody is doing their little job, and their job is perfectly aligned with their skills and their cognitive wiring. If you ask somebody who is doing sales to do the positioning, they will fail. So you need to have the right people doing the right jobs, all right? And these are the mechanics of a healthy business, which translate into the flywheel of a healthy business, where you have marketing running campaigns that generate traffic that turn into leads, and then sales picks up those leads and follows up. Now, note that this is not a marketing activity. Follow up is a sales activity. The first thing you have to do when you get a lead is try to sell, not try to nurture. That's another mistake companies make. Don't make this mistake. Automations should go, you want to buy this because they just told you they have the problem you are trying to solve by becoming leads. So somebody needs to try to sell them immediately. And if they fail, then yes, you can make automations that nurture them and try to revive their interest. And by the way, in this frame, if you accept this framework, you see that there is no such thing as a marketing automation, because marketing ends when you get the lead. So by definition, there cannot be marketing automation. There are email automations, yes, but you can't call them marketing automations, all right? So after follow-up, we get sales. And when we have enough sales, new sales, we go examine them and we try to revise the positioning. If that's possible, we have a new message that will generate new campaigns, and this flywheel keeps spinning. Now, marketing will fail if you ask one department to do the job of three. Okay, so this is the main takeaway for this part of the video, that marketing creates awareness, sales creates customers, and positioning creates clarity. And I want to stress one thing. Awareness is a word that is thrown around a lot. Like everybody is talking about awareness, but to me, it's a very soft word. And I don't think people quite understand what awareness means. So I would say that awareness is impressions, traffic, and leads. That's what marketing does, all right? So this is it. This is how a healthy business operates. You do these three things and then you repeat, all right? So now let's come to the fun part. Let's look at the KPI of a healthy business, which are the metrics we are actually watching week by week. So I wanted to go in your analytics, you click on reports, then acquisition, and then user acquisition, and you come to a page like this. You should look for the metrics here in the top of the table, and that's total users, new users, returning users, and the average time on page. Now let's go back to our 5 companies. If I ask you which one of these company is the most successful, I believe you would say A. And this is how marketing is usually measured, by the number of users that reach the site. But this is a very superficial metric. Why? Because if you look deeper, you see that there are other metrics, and actually new users is a better metric of marketing success. And don't get me wrong, also returning users are important, because that means the website is actually working, it's saying the right things and people come back, so that's super important. But if you think about the acquisition campaigns, their job is to bring new people to the site. So that's how you measure the effectiveness of those campaigns. New users, not total users, all right? Now, with this in mind, you can calculate the ratio of new users on the total users, and you see how these 5 companies behave in a different way. Okay, they have different dynamics at play. Now I tell you, 2 of these companies, they run the same type of business. Can you spot which ones they are? 2 out of 5, they have the same business model, selling the same product to the same kind of people, but at different scale. I will give you 5 seconds to look at this. If you need more time, just pause the video. I will tell you now which one they are. So it's A and D. How can you say that they have the same model? Well, if you look at the average time on site, it's almost exactly the same. But moreover, what's important is that the ratio of new visitors versus total visitors is almost identical. So you can see how these simple metrics, fast metrics, these metrics change every week. You can see how they tell you exactly what's going on under the hood of the company. Contrast that with LTV, for which you need months to even understand which is the right LTV. So now we come to the opening question. Which one of these companies is the one that makes 100K per day? And here, again, I will give you 5 seconds to look at the numbers. If you need more time, just pause the video. And now I'll tell you, the company is B. How can you see that? You see, again, from the average time on site is huge. It means people are finding what they're looking for. They are staying, they're coming back. And they're coming back, you see, from this number here. The ratio of new users versus total users is lower. What does it mean? It means that it has more returning users. And this is healthy because it means that people are actually caring about what's on the site. All right. So in the end of the story, a business to be healthy needs to find a balance between new users and returning users. And this means that it must find a positioning that works to attract people that actually need what the company is selling, and the site should reflect that, all right? So these are all pieces that have to fit together, but in the end of the story, this is possible by spinning this flywheel as fast as possible. You see that? Now, if you're learning something useful from this video, click the like button so we can tell YouTube that more people should see this video, more people should know this stuff. Click the like button. Thanks. So go back one moment to the companies. This company, Company B, has 100 employees, and Company A has about 10 employees, and all the other companies are smaller. And that's why Company B is able to make this flywheel spin a lot faster. There are a lot more people working with the marketing, with the sales, and everything is so optimized that the flywheel spins super fast. Despite they have less traffic than this company here. So in the end of the story, your business grows at the speed the flywheel speeds. It's motion and feedback. And that's the reason you have to draw the line between marketing and sales early, because you cannot ask marketing to generate immediately sales qualified leads. It's motion and feedback. You first have to create the motion, and then you get the feedback, and then you improve the thing. All right. So this is how a healthy business should work. And the metrics you can use to keep the pulse of the business are new visitors for marketing. And over time, you need to get good at spinning the flywheel as fast as possible so you can adjust the messaging, positioning and messaging to increase the number of returning visitors to get better people that fit what you're doing, what your company is doing, who understand the value and either they buy immediately or they keep coming back. All right, that's it for this video. I will see you at the next one. Ciao.